chapter 43 and the last chapter. That is the competitive environment. One of the most important external influences faced by a business is the threat posed by competitors. Yeah, it's a competitive environment. Then you have to face those competitors. You need to. For you to be part of that business or for you to be part of that market, you need to weigh off those competitors. You need to fight against them. You need to be part of them. You need to win them. If not, then you are out of the business. So for you to continue that business, you have to be ready for those competitors. So what are the effects on business? Effects on business of competitors. Operating in a competitive market is likely to have a number of implications for a business. The impact on businesses might be influenced by the numbers of competitors, the size of the competitors, and their behavior. Do you understand? So let's start with the number of competitors. For numbers, the level of competition tends to be so high. It has to so intense because that time the numbers are high. So the more the numbers of the competitors, the higher or the more tensed the competition becomes. Do you understand? So when you have higher numbers of competitors, then the competition increases. Then survival of the fittest. So this can have effect on, so when there's a high number of competitors in the market, it could have effect on price. How for price? Where there are large numbers of competitors,
Yes.
businesses have less control over price, which means prices are likely to fall. When there's high competition, definitely the prices will fall because there are a lot of competitors in the market. There are a lot of producers selling almost the same product. So for you to be relevant in that market, then you need to sell at a lower price.
Yes.
2, profit. The profit available in a highly competitive market has to be shared between a greater number of contestants. So there's a market share and there's going to be profit share. You have to share profit with the competitors. 3, communication with customers. Businesses will be under pressure to meet customer needs. You would need to always listen to them. If not, you lose them to the rest of the competitors because the competition is high and tense. Innovation. It is in a highly competitive market, innovation will be encouraged. Business may want to create a unique selling point. You need to be innovative. You need a product differentiation. For customers, your product has to be stand out. And for your product to stand out, you need to be innovative.
Yeah.
That's the way to create a unique selling point, a USP. It can also be influenced by size. Numbers can also be influenced by what size. The size of rivals can have a number of effects on the business. So who are your rivals? How many are they? The more they are in numbers, the more competition it becomes. The more competitive the market becomes. The price. In market, there. So for price, now we're talking about size of the competitors. So the size of the competitors can also affect the price. How? In markets that are dominated by large rivals, small businesses have little control. The strongest set the price. So in a competitive market, just like the numbers, in numbers, when you're talking about numbers, price falls when it comes to numbers. But in size, the larger businesses set the price because the smaller businesses don't have say over prices.
Yeah.
On profit, large businesses tend to make more profit because they have the lowest cost per unit. Communication with customers. Here, smaller businesses have edge over large businesses because in large businesses, you don't have access to the owners. But small businesses, you can have access to the owners. Innovation. Large businesses pose a threat also because they have so much finance, they have so much resources to do research and development, which small businesses might not do. They have resources to produce new products. So the size, how big or small a business is, can also have an influence on the innovation of the business in the market. the behavior of the competitors. Businesses are likely to be directly affected by the behavior of their rivals. How does behavior, what impact does behavior has in the market for competitors? One, on pricing. One way a business can be affected by the behavior of a competitor is when they change price. So when businesses change prices, it affects competitors. Two, marketing. Business always monitor the marketing activities of rivals, such as the method of promotion and advertising they use. So you check your competitors, your rivals, what kind of promotion method they are using, what kind of advertisement they are doing. You can also do it or copy them.
Yeah, of course.
Three, product differentiation. If competitors develop improved version of their products or launch brand new products, businesses can negatively be affected. So when your competitors make a new product design, customers might leave your product to try the new design,
Yes.
which is a negative implication. Product development. If competitors improve version of their product, business can negatively be affected. So improving the version of your product, that means you've stepped up in the product, maybe the quality, maybe the package. Rivals, your competitors, might be affected because they might lose customers to you.
Mm-hmm.
Collusion. In a minority of industries, a number of firms might work together and behave like monopoly. Like I told you earlier, they work together to behave like a monopoly. So this behavior can have a very damaging effect on the remaining firms in the industry. So smaller firms will be affected. Is it clear?
Yes.
Barriers to entry. Some large firms spend huge amounts on advertisement, which makes it difficult for new businesses and existing rivals to break into the market. It's difficult, like how? How are they making this money? How can they do this, such an advertisement? How do we cope? All the customers are going there.
Yeah.
How can a small firm cope with increasing competition? One, develop a market niche. Try to create a niche market. Try to sell to customers with specific needs. Mm-hmm. And when you sell to customers with specific needs, you won't have competitors. You can charge premium prices instead of still hanging on with those large firms. Create a niche. Two, flexibility. Some firms can adapt to change more quickly. The market is growing. Grow with it. The market is growing. Grow with it. That is flexibility. Three, personal services or personal service. As firms get bigger, it often becomes difficult to offer customers an individual personal service. Owners are far more accessible in small firms than large businesses. So, for you to reach there, when you start becoming bigger, you are losing the confrontation between you, the owner. There will be no more confrontation between the owner and the customers. But for you to keep up, try to create a way in which your customers can have access to you. It will really help your business.
Yeah.
4, lower wages. Smaller firms are able to negotiate with their employees, as those workers do not have higher expectations on their earnings, which might be due to the size of the business. As a small firm, most of the time, small businesses don't have problems about their employees, because the employees, they already know before starting up with you, before coming to that business, they know they're not going to be paid higher wages. So their expectations are not always high when it comes to their earnings. So this could help you to cope as a business So you can always bargain, you can always negotiate better with them because they're not going to ask so much from you. Due to the size of your business, they will put it into consideration. Fifth one, better communication. Since small firms have fewer employees, communication tends to be informal. To be informal and more rapid than in large organizations. Communication goes faster within a small business than large businesses. So this might help smaller business against the large ones.
Yeah.
Is it clear? The larger ones, okay? Innovation. Small firms often lack resources for research and development, but if they want to compete, they have to be what? Surprisingly be innovative.
Yeah.
Do you understand? They have to be. They have to surprise competitors, the large businesses. Wow, that small business is doing this. They have to be surprisingly innovative if they really want to compete. Is it clear?
Yeah.